Hello everybody, welcome back to Mason Zero ASMR. This is a Magic the Gathering haul video with Sophia.
Hey.
And today we have 4 things that came in the mail today, which is a little ridiculous because they're all from different places. The first one is a small one for Sophia, which is why she's in on this, but the rest are for me. So you can make snide remarks about my cards or something. So without further ado, I will let you open yours and show everyone what you got.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna need to cut this one open. Okay, I don't actually remember exactly what I ordered, so it'll be a little bit of a surprise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's solidly there. That's everything. Okay. Oh wow, they taped it to the page. Okay. Ooh. I saw one of the cards that I got. How do I open this?
Like that.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Figured it out. Okay. Let's see. I didn't get very many cards in the set, in this pack, but I ordered a bunch of cards, so, alright. I did get Thalia's Lieutenant. I don't know why it's in this sleeve, but just this one card. For those of you who don't know, Thalia's Lieutenant is 1 and a white for a 1/1 human soldier. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other human you control. And whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. So I got actually 2 of those, I think. Maybe I got more. Let's see. I only got 2 cards, okay. Yes, I did get another Thalia's Lieutenant. And the cool card that I got was Arlinn, the Planeswalker from Shadows of Innistrad that I really wanted, that I did not pull. I have pulled 2 Sorin and 1 Hiri, but not
2 Avison.
And 2 Avison, but not an Arlinn Cord, and not Jace, which I'm fine with, but Arlinn Cord I really want, so she's 2 red and a green for 3 loyalty. Her +1 is until end of turn, up to 1 target creature. It's +2/+2 and gains vigilance and haste. Her 0 is put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. Transform Arlinn Cord. So on her transform side, +1 creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. -1 Arlinn, Embraced by the Moon, deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Transform Arlinn, Embraced by the Moon. And then -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control have haste and tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So, I'm excited for Arlinn Cord.
You can go right into your Naya
Yeah,
deck.
I'm gonna go right into my all these are going into my 3-color standard deck that I currently have. Make my red a little more prominent, but yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Alright, now the rest of the stuff is mine. So, excuse me. I have a few cards for some decks that I'm going to try out, and everything else is for the cube, I guess. There's probably some other random stuff in there as well, but some cube cards, and then I'll be done with the cube. Just got some things to make it a little more interesting. I think I found quite a few like super cheap commons and uncommons from Eternal Masters that were pretty interesting, because that set you can basically get a box and turn it into a cube, because it's got some cool stuff in it. So I'm going to open up this one, which I think has some newer cards in it for decks. I got a bunch of stuff for the deck idea that I have of stealing all of your opponent's things. It has the combo of every time they play something, you automatically get it.
Which is just crazy.
Yes, but you know.
You want scissors?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm a man. I don't need help.
Something like that. Okay, yeah, I would like them now. This one little bit. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Got it all in a nice bag. Oh goodness, there's 2 top loaders in here. Good God. I'll worry about that later.
And none of the cards are in them.
Okay.
They just included them, but didn't put any cards in them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. First package. This is actually the key card in the deck idea that I have. Will Breaker. It's a 5-mana 2/3 creature. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, gain control of that creature for as long as you control Will Breaker, which is part 1 of the combo. So we got 4 of those. These are not in any sort of order. This is a card. I got 3 of them, and 1 might go in the cube, and the other 2 might go in my red-blue modern deck. It's a 4-mana sorcery, put 2 1/1 red goblin tokens into play, but it has Storm, so you copy it for each spell that was cast before it this turn, which is pretty bonkers.
Bonkers.
Yes. And with that, we have Grape Shot. I believe I have 4 of these going right into my
Grape shot?
Grape Shot,
Grape.
which is going into my
Grape.
Grape Shot. It's a pirate thing. Is going.
That's just so funny.
I know.
The grapes are on fire.
But this is going on into my blue-red modern deck, which I want to make better. And the end goal is for it to make a ton of mana, and then play a bunch of spells, and then do Storm. So it's a 2 mana, deals 1 damage to creature or player with Storm. So you copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. So deal a bunch of damage after making all your infinite mana. Not infinite, but lots of mana. Back to the controlling creatures thing. We have Exert Influence with Converge. Gain control of target creature if its power is less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. Potential card for that deck. I already have 1, so I got 3. I don't know if I'll end up using it, but it's a super junk rare, so it was super cheap. This is the card that combos with Will Breaker. Enchant creature. You control enchanted creature. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, attach this card to that creature. So basically, this targets any creature that comes into play and you control it. Therefore, Will Breaker will gain control of it forever. So this just attaches to every new creature that comes into play under your opponent's control, automatically, and you keep it forever.
Will Breaker?
Because this is, whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes a target of a spell or ability you control, gain control of that creature for as long as you control Will Breaker. And this will target every new creature that comes into play. So I've got 3 of those, because I already have 1. This one is a cube card. 3 mana 0/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment, you draw a card, because enchantments are a thing. This one's for the Elves deck. A 3 mana 1/2 elf. Tap it, target creature gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. It's a crazy uncommon. This is a sideboard card, probably for my blue-red deck, maybe. 2 mana instant, return target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent to the runner's hands. So against tokens and stuff. This one I'll probably use in my in like a modern deck, but if not, it'll go in the cube. Oblivion Ring is very, very popular. 3 mana enchantment to exile a non-land permanent until it leaves the battlefield. And finally we have Sigil of the Empty Throne, which is for my enchantments deck that I think I also got some cards for in these orders, I believe. I'm experimenting with standard. So that's fun. So that's package number 1. Full of super, super cheap cards, because no one is playing them.
Meanwhile, mine was like really expensive, especially with Arlinn cord.
I know, right? I'm like pretty sure that all the cards in all these packages are maybe as much as you spent on those 3 cards.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
But that's why I only got 3.
Exactly. Yours count.
Yes.
Alright, let's open this other one. Just a normal envelope. Oh, goodness. Look at that. That's funny. Alright, first of all, it's attached. Very funny. So I'm going to deattach this. Oh boy. Okay. There we go.
More plastic.
Yep. Super protected. Eh. Oh god, this is packed really tight. There we go. Alright. Paraceline, 3 mana sorcery. Destroy all enchantments. You gain 1 life for each enchantment destroyed this way. I'm not sure. This is going to be in a modern deck, but I'm not sure which deck it'll go in. It can go in anything because it has Phyrexian mana, so I can pay 2 life instead of a white if I want to. 2 mana instant. Target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of your choice until end of turn. Could be useful. For decks, Loam Lion is a 1 white for a 1/1 that gets +1/+2 as long as you control a forest, which is pretty sweet. You can have a turn 1, 2, 3 potentially if you play a dual land. Auntie's Snitch is a 3 mana 3/1 goblin rogue. It can't block. It has Prowl for 1 and a black. You can cast it for its Prowl cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with a goblin or a rogue. And whenever a goblin or rogue you control deals combat damage to a player, if Anti-Snitch is in your graveyard, you may return Anti-Snitch to your hand. So it's an interesting goblin for the goblins cube deck. Erratic Mutation. Choose target creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. That creature gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is that card's converted mana cost. But all cards are revealed this way on the bottom of your library in any order. So you can sort of choose whether you want to make your own thing really strong or potentially kill an opponent's creature. This card is pretty crazy. Rude Awakening. This might be a card for your commander deck that has lots of lands. It is 5 mana for a sorcery with Entwine for 2 and a green, so you can choose both. You can pay an additional 2 and a green to choose both of the options that it has here. Untap all lands you control, or if you do Entwine, until end of turn, lands you control become 2/2 creatures that are still lands. What? Okay. Oh, I have 2 of those. 1 for your commander deck and 1 for the cube. Surikar Spellblade is a 3 mana 2/1 creature, Surikar, whatever that is. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may put a charge counter on it. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw X cards, where X is the number of charge counters on it. This is for potentially my soldiers commander deck. It's green and white. It's a 3/3 for 4, which is kind of a lot. It's a Rhino Soldier. Yeah, Rhino Soldier. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature is a 1/1, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Because so many of my soldiers, especially the tokens, are 1/1s, they can automatically become 3/3. So I feel like that's a sweet card. I have 2 of those. Momentary Blink is 2 mana for an instant. Exile target creature you control and return to the battlefield under its owner's control, with flashback for 3 and a blue. Alright, thing number 2. another tight fitting thing in here. How they get these in here? Oh god. Go on. There we go. Okay. Despoiler of Souls. 2 black for a 3/1 creature horror. It can't block. You can pay 2 and exile 2 other creatures from your graveyard to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Kind of cool graveyard stuff. Displacement Wave is for my mono blue standard deck that is doing pretty good. It's X and 2 blue for a sorcery. Return all non-land permanents with converted mana cost X or less to the runner's hands. Got a couple of those. Healer of the Pride is for the cube, probably. It's 4 mana for a 2/3 cat cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 2 life. Ah, yes. Here's the mana generating cards for my blue-red deck. It's 2 mana to add 3 to your mana pool. So I have 4 of those. It's the slightly less good version of Desperate Ritual, which has Splice into Arcane, so you can play multiple of them for cheaper. But they're a bit more expensive than these, so I didn't want to go up that much. Got a couple Rattle Chains because I think that Spirits is going to be really good, and it's a really cheap card right now, so figured I'd pick up a couple, hoping that they would be good. So Rattle Chains is from Shadows over Innistrad. It's a 2/1 for 2 spirit with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, a target spirit gains hexproof to end of turn, and spirits that you control can be cast as though they had flash. Gnaw to the Bone is for my Dredge deck, probably. You gain 2 life for each creature card in your graveyard, and it's flashback. So my Dredge deck is, I did a deck tech on it recently, and it's my silly, mostly casual deck because it probably would suck in Modern the way that it is right now. But this is just to give it a little more resiliency and make it last a little longer. So yeah, that is that. One more package left. Oops, sorry. I'm hitting my girlfriend on accident. I'm so sorry. Abuse. Okay. As usual, my giant mountain of super cheap but super fun cards. Oh god.
Yes.
Come on. Really?
How many can they take together?
Dear god. This is just ridiculous.
Want me to open the other ones?
Sure, that'd be great. Come on. Thanks. Okay. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so I have an awesome idea for a standard enchantments deck. So we have Herald of the Pantheon, which is a 2 mana 2/2 Centaur Shaman. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life. So we have a set of those. A couple copies of Hydrolash, because I needed some more for my mono blue deck. It's 3 mana instant, attacking creatures get -2, -0 till end of turn, draw a card. Phantom General is probably for the cube. It's 4 mana 2/3 Spirit Soldier. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1. This one's for the cube because spirits is something that I want to make pretty good. It's a Drogskull Captain, 3 mana 2/2 Spirit Soldier with flying. Other spirit creatures you control get +1/+1 and hexproof. Seems decent. We have Tome Scour. 1 mana, target player puts the top 5 cards of their library into their graveyard. It's for the mill deck in the cube. Brute Force is for probably the red-blue deck, which is going to be mostly red. And it's 1 mana, instant, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. That seems like a lot. Death Rattle is a 6 mana card with Delve. So it can potentially only cost 1 black. Destroy target non-green creature. It can't be regenerated. I'm not sure why non-green, but whatever. Gamekeeper is an interesting card for the cube. It's 4 mana for a 2/2 elf. When it dies, you may exile it. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield. Put all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. So if you stack your library right, that could be pretty cool. Marchesa's Smuggler is 1 blue and 1 red for a 1/1 human rogue with Dethrone. Whenever this creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. You can pay 3. Target creature you control gains haste until end of turn and can't be blocked. Spontaneous Combustion is 1 black and red for an instant. As an additional cost, you sacrifice a creature and deals 3 damage to each creature. And then finally, the last bit. Favorable Winds is a 2 mana enchantment. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Stormcaller's Boon is 2 white blue for an enchantment. You can sacrifice it, and creatures you control gain flying until end of turn. But more importantly, it has a cascade. When you play it, you remove cards from the top of your library. You exile them until you reveal a non-land card that costs less than this card. You may play it without paying its mana cost, and then you put all the exiled cards on the bottom of your library. So Cascade's an interesting mechanic. This is a card for the goblins part of the cube. 2 mana 1/1 with haste, Goblin Rogue. Goblins and rogues you cast cost 1 less to play. Elvish Hex Hunter is 1 hybrid green or white for a 1/1 elf shaman. You can pay a hybrid green or white and tap it and sacrifice it to destroy an enchantment. Gaze of Justice is a 1 mana sorcery, white. As an additional cost, you tap 3 untapped white creatures you control to exile a target creature, and it has flashback for 6. Void is 3, a black and a red for a sorcery. Choose a number, destroy all artifacts and creatures with converted mana cost equal to that number. Then target player reveals his or her hand and discards all non-land cards with converted mana cost equal to that number.
Choose a number.
Choose a number.
A number.
That's right.
It's not random.
Nope, you choose a number. And I got the time-shifted version from Time Spiral or whatever because it was cheaper than the Eternal Masters reprint. So it's not actually an old card. It's just designed to look like one, which is interesting. Mind Sculpt, 2 mana for a sorcery. Target opponent puts the top 7 cards of their library into their graveyard. And then finally, a card that was once very popular when it was in Standard, I hear, Chandra's Phoenix. 1 and 2 red for a 2/2 Phoenix, flying and haste. Whenever an opponent is dealt damage by a red instant or sorcery you control, or by a red planeswalker you control, return Chandra's Phoenix from your graveyard to your hand. Apparently
I think I have one.
Do you? Oh. I don't recall, but maybe. We have a few Phoenixes between us. So guys, that is the haul for the day. Didn't really expect all of these to come at once, but that's cool. So, all my stuff, Arlinn Cord, Tooth Valley's Lieutenant. Good haul. Hope you all like it, and once I put all these things into the cube and make it all cool, I will make a video on that, I suppose. I'm not sure if it would be one video or multiple videos. We'll have to see. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great night or day or whatever it may be. Bye.